Okay, so you've probably noticed this, right? It feels like it's everywhere. During the game, on your phone, popping up in your social media feed. It really does feel like gambling just appeared out of nowhere. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that is and what it really means for all of us. So, yeah, what's the deal? Why this sudden explosion? I promise it's not just you. This is a massive, and I mean massive, and incredibly rapid shift in our culture. To really get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number, $450 billion. That's how much has been wagered in the US since a big law changed back in 2018. This isn't just a trend, it's an absolute financial juggernaut. And believe me, this isn't happening by chance. There's a plan. So, what is the plan? Well, it's what you might call a classic gold rush playbook. It's a strategy we've definitely seen before in other industries. This whole thing isn't an accident. It's a very deliberate and, frankly, a very aggressive strategy. This is where you can really see the strategy in action. Think about it. Remember when vapes and those e-scooters just appeared everywhere, way before regulators could even figure out what to do? Or how ride-sharing apps gave us all those free rides and discounts to get us hooked? Well, the sports betting industry is basically taking both of those tactics, mashing them together, and then pouring an unbelievable amount of money into advertising. It's a pretty simple four-step formula when you lay it all out. First, a new market opens up, like a law changing. Second, they just flood that market with ads and all those free money promotions. Third, the goal is to grab as many users as they can as fast as they possibly can. And the final step? Become the dominant player, the monopoly, before the rest of us, regulators, the public, really catch on to the consequences. It's basically a race against our own understanding. And how well is that flooding the market phase working? Well, get this. A full 20%, 1/5, of a typical sports broadcast is now just gambling ads. It's this overwhelming presence, right? All designed to make betting feel like a totally normal, even essential part of being a sports fan. But here's the thing, it's not just about sports anymore. The core mechanics of gambling are starting to seep into, well, pretty much everywhere in our daily lives. This whole phenomenon has a name, gamification. Now, gamification wasn't always a bad thing. Originally, the idea was actually pretty harmless, even helpful. You know, things like using progress bars in fitness apps or giving out little prizes in educational software to keep you motivated. And honestly, it worked great for that. But now, that same concept has been, well, weaponized. We see these same high-risk, high-reward loops all over the place. In-game purchases in kids' video games, those influencer mystery boxes, collector crazes, and even the gig economy. Let's zero in on kids' games for a second, because this is so important. When a kid can just pay real money to skip waiting for something in a game, it completely short-circuits that muscle for delayed gratification. It's basically training their brain to crave that instant win feeling, the exact same rush that's at the core of gambling addiction. And it's not just happening to kids. This quote from a former delivery driver really hits home. He says, "They're offering you extra money to build a habit. It's the same system that gambling apps use. These bonus quests and challenges, they're designed to build a habit, to keep drivers chasing that next reward, just like a slot machine keeps you pulling the lever." And the result of all this? Well, pretty much everything is becoming something you can bet on. I mean, you can now literally place a bet on who gets kicked off a reality TV show. But it doesn't stop there. People wagered millions of dollars on who the next pope would be. A major, sacred religious event just became another betting market. And it gets even crazier and honestly a little more invasive. You can literally bet on whether a public figure will get a divorce. Think about that. Normal, sometimes painful moments in a person's life are being turned into a game of chance for profit. Okay, but this isn't just some quirky, weird thing happening. This huge cultural shift, all this so-called play, it comes with a very real and very high price tag for real people and for our society. Just look at this number. It's absolutely staggering. An estimated 100,000 extra bankruptcies every single year, just in the US states where sports betting has been legalized. That is a devastating financial blow, and it's directly tied to this new landscape. And the cost isn't just about money either. The stress that comes from gambling debt is just destructive. It's been clearly linked to increased anxiety and depression, higher rates of domestic violence, and people becoming more and more socially isolated. So, here's the main takeaway, the most crucial point. None of this is normal. This idea that we should be constantly gambling on our phones, turning every single moment of our lives into a potential bet, that's a new reality. And it's one that has been manufactured for us. And that really brings us to the final, big question. As our entire culture gets gamified, as every event, big or small, becomes just another betting opportunity, you really have to stop and ask, who's actually winning here?